Okay, yeah, there it goes.
Just hooking up to YouTube. And we are live. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here today and getting to connect with y'all face to face. Because we get to interact with lots of people via chats and over text and things like that. But it's beautiful to get to put a face to a name. So we're really looking forward to another one today. Should be wonderful. Um, got a whole bunch of beautiful people in the chat. Christy, Coach Kathy, Amy, Kimmy Q, Third Eye Trader, Lisa Cry Freedom, Big and Vixen. Big and Vixen, still want to get you on sometime. You just let me know whenever you want to practice that. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get you on. But yeah. So welcome everybody. Welcome Charlie, Colleen. Hey guys.
Hello, Justin. Hello, everyone.
Nice to
Third Eye Trader, the man of many names. We love you. From Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. We love you. Love everyone in the chat room. Yeah. So, and quick announcement: next Friday's show, because this is so demanded from so many, is going to be 2 hours. Be 2 hours next Friday. And all the questions are just going to relate to this incredibly magic, beautiful process of sacred sex. So, to that end, on YouTube, Colleen and I, last night, I uploaded the video Sex, the Secret Gate to Eden, what sex is supposed to be, sacred. And I put that up on our YouTube channel, and it had close to 2,000 views already. And that will be your homework assignment. I'm sure, because we put this up 2.5 years ago. So I'm sure many of you have already watched it, but it is just one of those videos that you can watch and rewatch, and you'll never grow tired of it. You'll only more will be revealed to you every time you watch it. And Justin and I were talking about a little while ago, just a few minutes ago, and like Justin was saying, yeah, every time I watch it, I just love it because it's the truth, and it's so beautiful. And all of this information in time will be revealed to us, and the sacred relationship between Jehoshua and Mary Magdalene is sacred and is beautiful. And I live for those kind of moments when that truth gets revealed. Though these people, and the left brain in particular, is in major trouble, because when you really love somebody this way, these demons are done for, and the ego of your left brain is done for, because this is a love in which it's service to the other, because there is deep respect and love for the other. It's always putting the interests of others first, and then that's where all of the richness of our life comes from. All of the wonderful gifts that we receive in our life that makes our life so great comes from helping to generate happiness in others. So it just becomes a way of life, and the gifts are astounding. So I wanted to share that, and that'll be the show next week. And again, all you have to do is just go to our YouTube channel, which is the Shire Animal Rescue Sanctuary.
I think it's Charlie Freak, Shire.
Charlie Freak and the Shire Animal Rescue Sanctuary, and you can watch the video there. Justin may have it up on his channel. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's also on my link tree if you want to download a copy of just the documentary. But I'd advise watching the one on Charlie's channel because it's got a good introduction from these two lovely cats. So that's always fun to see.
It's the only high res video that's out there. Everything else on YouTube, there's a few other channels that host it, but the quality has been captured, and it's very low quality. This is the original file that we then uploaded. So the quality is perfect, and it's important because there's so many very powerful images to go along with the sacred teaching. And all I can just say about the video is that it's the truth. It's the truth. It's beautiful and it's the truth, and it shouldn't scare anyone. And I'll lead into next week with this. And this last thing I'll say about it today is that the process is designed to do with your partner, but it can be started alone. Absolutely. You can go a long way alone. And there are so many of you that have been put through hell by the world of man, and you've had very abusive men in your life. So right now, a lot of people are responding, Charlie, I just feel far more comfortable in chastity right now. And that's exactly where you need to be, is where so many of us need to be right now.
Because there's a lot of unlearning and a lot of healing
That's
to
right.
do in those areas. And I'm in one of those boats. So it's a process. And there's a lot of work and each person has got a little different scenario going on. So it's...
Yeah, because
it's important to start now.
Sex has been attacked. One of the most aspects of our beautiful reality that they have attacked, and they've turned it from sex, which is incredible. I'll decoded it before. I'll decode it on next week's show again. But they've turned it into a five-letter word, which is SEXXX rated. XXX rated, and that's not what sex is at all. It is not about getting your rocks off or something like this. It is sacred. There's really no better word.
Rolling the rock.
It is.
It's lighting the lamp.
It is. It is. And then when you get really good at this process, what you will find is that the real orgasm comes here, not down there. And that took us so long to figure out, because nobody teaches you this. Nobody tells you any of these things. This video doesn't tell you these things as well. Samuel Ayunweor wrote a book, but he didn't really go into any great kind of detail about this. So there's no one to teach you these things. And it's very important. This is a huge aspect of ourselves. And then it all goes into not spilling your seed. And then people go, well, how do you have children then? And it's like immaculate conception.
Now you're getting detailed.
Okay. I love you guys. And the show next week is going to be so powerful and special. Thank you.
Yes. So make sure to watch that video before next week, because it's a great introduction to the subject so that you're more familiar. And how we're going to do next week's show, just to keep it simple, we're going to take all questions offline. So if you can email me your questions to understandingtruth@gmail.com. That's understandingtruth@gmail.com. And we'll just go in the order that I received the questions on the show. We will prioritize the emailed questions first. And if we run out of those, then we will move to the chat for questions. So just make sure to, if you got a question, make sure to email it for the best chance of getting it answered. And we'll cover it that way. So yeah, it should be a good one. All right. And then, yeah, should we jump into our lovely guest today?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right. Let's start, Lori, and we're going to start with you. Oh, I did. Did you want to play that video as well? Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I guess that's more important.
Yeah, there she is.
Mike? There it is.
Ah.
Hey, Lorianne, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Muted the YouTube.
Awesome.
So I think, and if you guys can hear me okay, oh my gosh. Yeah, I hope I don't cry. I'm already crying. I could not be more grateful and blessed.
We love you.
We love you so much, Lori.
Following you guys for quite some time, and I cleaned up my diet, and then everything just started being revealed, and and then it just goes from there. As you know, I bought my King James Bible and following all the Bible studies, and I shared with Justin that his email that I saw this morning at about 5 a.m. was divine timing. I just, oh gosh, I love you guys so much. I just shared with my financial advisor this week about my plans to retire and move to Mexico. And, it's just, everything's divine. Every baby step that I take, I don't even know what I'm doing, of course, but every baby step that I take, it just opens another door and another door and another door. And I have to believe that that's, that it's just meant to be, God's will. And I can't be any more grateful for you. And Colleen, you get more beautiful every day. I say that in the chat, and it's true. You really do. As far as questions, I'm interested in a little more of the practical aspects of moving to Mexico. I have this big general plan, but I'm not getting attached to anything, and just taking baby steps and allowing doors to open, which is happening. So my big general plan is to sell my home, donate everything that I own, and take my my lovely traveling companion, who is sleeping downstairs right now. She's a retired racing greyhound.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you.
And I wish that she'd come up, but they sleep all the time. They're couch potatoes. And if she does, I'll introduce you. Her name is Fee, short for Fiona, and she's black. And so she and I will be getting in my vehicle at some point in the next year and a half-ish, and driving down to making our way down to Texas. Kind of taking a cue from what Justin did, and just finding a place to kind of settle there for a few months to 6 months to I don't know what, we'll just see. So to be closer to the border, because I'd like to drive over and bring my dog like Justin did, and it sounds like he did not have any issues doing that. I won't fly because of the potential having to I don't know what, wear a mask or get the jab or whatever. I just won't do that anymore. So it's driving. So anyway, once I'm near the border and settled there temporarily, I would love to connect with others who might be driving down. And don't worry, I'm not going to show up at your door with my pillow and blanket. I understand that there's a process and interview and talk about how I will deal with my ego every day when I wake up. And I totally respect that. But so I'd like to eventually, connect with others who might be driving down in kind of caravan. It's a little too overwhelming and scary for me to drive down alone with my dog. And I would just love to be in a group of 2 or 3, maybe other beautiful souls in our family, and drive down together. And and I would be self-supporting and self-sustaining and everything down there. I just want to get at least a little closer to where you are, or where people might be, and so that I can help. I want to help, and my passions and my skills are taking care of animals, and juice. I love to make juice, and
those are great skills.
I I like to, I feed the birds. And so, yeah, taking care of animals, and I'm great with dogs and horses. And I've had 10 years of, blessed with 10 years of living with horses of my own in the past. And so I want to help. I just want to help. So anyway, if there's any, and I know it's been talked about that that there might be a website coming with, where people can connect and get in touch with one another, and so that I can kind of team up and maybe meet some people down in Texas, and then maybe so I'm a planner as far as my job. I work in downtown Minneapolis. And that's all I need to say about that for a large corporation. I think I said that right, Charlie?
Yeah.
And luckily, I work at home most of the time. I only need to go downtown very occasionally, a couple days a month, which has been a blessing. But when I do, it's so interesting now with the perspective that I have from all of the learnings. When I go and I tell my good friend I'm going into the Matrix this week for 2 days, because it is. And just having that perspective, I really can pretty effectively straddle both worlds, because Matrix is not my world any longer. I've left that behind. But for now, I need to function within that world. And I really do. I feel like I'm, straddling, like it's a parallel universe. It truly is. And I'm just able to function doing what I need to do for now until I can exit stage right, which is my new, favorite thing to say. And the narrow path, it's so narrow. I look at it like a balance beam, a 4-inch balance beam, and it's a skill to stay on that sucker. It's a skill. And there's, all kinds of forces on the left, pulling and poking and prodding and pulling and, pushing you off balance. And it's a daily practice to stay on that balance beam and stay on the straight and narrow. And I just could not be more grateful to have found this beautiful family. So anyway, any of the practical side that, you could offer me on, my plan going forward, and maybe meeting up with some folks and all that, eventually getting down to Mexico with my dog.
Yeah, I would start with in the meantime, while we're sort of getting more established here, really taking some time to explore the US. Once you sort of get away from being rooted to the house, and you have a camper, like, there are so many beautiful places in this country to travel around. It's absolutely incredible. That's all I did in 2020 was travel around the US and just see. There's so much free camping, and there's so many just gorgeous places and so many places to explore. And you can do it so inexpensively because you're just paying for gas
I don't have a camper. I have a SUV, but so
yeah,
I'll be
which you
renting.
could. I was in my SUV. I actually redid it to where I had a bed and a fridge and all the storage I needed in there. And I mean, your dog's a little bigger than mine, but imagine you can make it work. Or if you wanted to pull a trailer or something like that. But just a thought, because a yeah, it's a great way to do some self-discovery and to have that time within yourself. And if you want a good YouTube channel to look into, there's a channel called Cheap RV Living, and he's this older gentleman who has been living a nomadic lifestyle for almost 20 years, and he does a great job, because there's a lot of like van life channels where they try and make everything glamorous and whatever else, but he's very simple. He's like, I want to get it to where people who have, say you've got a small car and you want to go try this lifestyle. Let me show you a whole bunch of other people who are doing this and have like these genius ideas on how to organize things. And so it's a great channel to look into. But that would be a thought of something to do in the meantime. And then as far as coming into Mexico, yeah, I had no issues with driving across the border with my dog. I thought I was going to have to get like paperwork, and I had, had stuff ready in case they asked, but no one asked anything about her. So it was fine. And yeah, and if you're talking about in a year or two's time, like who knows what it's going to be like at that point? You know, who knows? It's only going to get better. So as far as like, even if you wanted to revisit looking into flying at that point, you know, the this whole mess with COVID, I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be going on that much longer too. So, you know, it's good to have an idea on things to do, but I wouldn't get too carried away with the details, especially that far along the road, because everything's going to be different. So that would be kind of my take there.
Right. Thank you. All good advice. And I do plan to take my time in the US and meandering. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, in a year and a half at that point, I mean, there will be many changes, I'm sure by then, and things are gonna be flipped upside down, I believe. So it's gonna be so much easier to travel. It's going to be so much easier. And with our website, yes, you'll probably have a whole caravan of people who will be going and doing the same thing. So that will be really cool, really fun. And we'll be in touch the whole time. So.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. And who knows, it might happen sooner than a year and a half-ish, you know, depending on what happens at my workplace, whether they start making noise about mandating the vax or wearing masks all day long or anything like that. I'm ready to exit stage right. I'm 1,000% on this path. And
That's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful to hear. And what I would just encourage for everyone is looking at things like the van transformation or getting yourself a camper, a trailer, RV, whatever, because that's a roof over your head, and that's all you ever need. There's fresh water everywhere. And soon enough, there'll be internet signal everywhere as well for free. So it's a wonderful way to live because it really makes you free of roots. And Colleen and I are both July 17, July 18, so we're both Cancers, we're both crabs, and we do love to hermit within the shell of home. But there is a price you pay with rooting, and there's a gift you give yourself with being a rolling stone, because it gathers no moss, and the rolling stone that gathers no moss stays pristine much easier than does the stone that is entrenched. So and of course the gifts are endless when you travel this way, because you just continue to go from town to town, area to area, and you meet amazing people. And when you start this magnetic energy, the mag, Make America Great Again, the MAGA, when you start the mag going within you, then you are a magnet. You attract what it is that you truly require, and you repulse what it is that you don't want. So there's none of this worrying about this, that, or the other thing. Just remember, going back to how they had to kill the hippies, because the hippies were so in tune with Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They were so in tune with God. They were so in tune with the Bible. They were so in tune with Mother Earth, Mother Nature. They had to destroy this movement. They did a number of things. It is one of the books I absolutely will get to and will write, which is I've entitled it The Assassination of the 60s. And they needed to do this. And one of the things that they did was create these serial killers, these mass murderers. It's all fake. It's all false. And then this is all part of that mind programming, MK Ultra, that they were doing here, there, and everywhere, turning these troubled but innocent souls into monsters, because their minds are fractured. Because you have to hide. You have to hide from the torture that they're doing in one part of your mind, and then you run. So it's kind of like Lord Voldemort and the Horcruxes, and having to section yourself off. So they created all of this, and you don't need to worry about this. So there's this whole thing about traveling is very dangerous, and And if you're a hitchhiker, you know, and all, ugh, they've just destroyed everything about us trusting one another, loving one another, going out and seeing one another. And everything that they've done is just to say, stay at home. And then your neighbors are the problem. So build really, really high walls.
Stay divided.
And stay divided, and no contact, no discussion, just hide. And then we're coming for your taxes. Let us let us in. But other than that, hide for the rest of your life. So either they're completely right, or they're completely full of shit. And we know that they're completely full of shit. Yeah. And kudos for you for the strength to still be living and working in downtown Minneapolis.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
live in downtown Minneapolis. I live in a suburb, but yeah, so out where I live, everything's okay. But yeah, when I step into the matrix, it's a whole different thing. But everything's different when you, as you all know, when you when your eyes are opened, it just changes everything. And yeah, it's just in some ways now it feels like a game to me to go into the matrix and then to come out again. And yeah, so doing what I have to do for now, but who knows? So,
yeah. And stay in touch, because you've always got support here, and whatever step of the way, we can always find people to connect you with, or share our experiences and things of that nature. So it's all gonna work out.
Exactly.
I know, yeah, I know that it will, and I do get a little bit, down in the weeds of details, but I'm trying to just be more open about it, and just take these baby steps and see what door opens, and they just keep opening. So.
And you've got the greatest attitude too. I mean, just allowing things to flow and not getting caught in the details, because God has a way bigger plan than we do. So when I get involved in my micromanaging my details, and then I have to remember, whoa, I'm collapsing this into something that it could be way better. So I just have to back off and let God do his work, because so many beautiful things come in, and I never would have thought of that, or I never would have expected that to happen, and then the twists and turns, and it can just be such a beautiful journey when you just let go of that attachment to the ending. But knowing that it's the journey there and back again, but it's the journey that's really the beautiful part. So it's and thank you for having that wisdom to allow that to happen. That's
I developed it through listening to all of you, and yeah, it's just his way is always better. His way is, I can have a big general. I try to keep my ideas general and fuzzy, but in the end, it's his will, and his ideas are always better than mine. So, yeah, I give up to that, So yeah.
Yeah, it's true. That's good. And I want to see a picture of your dog.
Oh my gosh, I'm such a loser here. I've got nothing to show you, but
That's okay. Just send it.
Yeah.
okay, I will. So, yeah, I think she'll love Mexico.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know I will. I'm a sunshine girl all the way, in hot weather. Bring it on.
Yeah, you'll love Mexico.
I don't want to do any more winters, but so we'll see. Maybe more sooner than later. But just could not be more grateful. Love you guys.
Love you too.
We love you
thank
too,
you,
Lori.
Lori, yeah.
And again, just so happy to hear. And once again, these shows are always the best because again, it just shows everyone out there with great strength and great courage to know that what they've been living is wrong, and to have the will to say, I want to do something different. When you do that, whether you realize it or not, when you do that, you're connecting to God. You're saying, what's out there is absolutely wrong, and it is purposefully wrong, and then eventually it will lead you, because everything that God does is trying to help you get home, which is within. So once you reject that, all on your own, naturally, you will go within. You will find God within, because everything wants you to. The trees, your dog, everything is on your side, because it's all God's creation. They're very limited in their power, and this is why they like to scare us with all of their, to fear them and all of the weaponry that they have and whatnot. It's far less, it's far, far, far less than what has been purported. If they literally did have all of this power that they talked about, then we would never have been able to overcome what has occurred. But the fact of the matter is, the real magic was with Nikola Tesla. And I've said tons about Tesla, but I haven't said everything yet. And part of when they rejected Tesla meant that it gave us, the few remaining white hats, an opportunity to take that which was this high truth and use it for goodly, godly aims. And this is the technology that has brought them down. This is what has put white hats with the ability to take down the demons. And it all comes through the same people, because that's what Nikola Tesla was. Tesla was not this person that said, I'm the smartest man in the world and I think of everything myself and I'm so smart, I'm so great. Tesla said, no, I clear my mind and I allow these thoughts to come to me. And he said that's what his mom taught him from the very youngest age. Get rid of your ego, stop thinking that you can do anything, and allow this natural process to occur from above within. And that's precisely what Tesla wrote about and talked about all the time. And that's why Tesla was never big on taking credit for his work. And if you read, Tesla had a lot of great friends, people that really admired him because they saw that he was a true genius. And they all talk about the same thing, which is that Nikola Tesla is one of the nicest. Now, to people that Tesla knew or dismissed as being Kabbalistic, he had no time for, and people saw Tesla as very gruff and hard to access. But to those people that he allowed in his life, all of them said, without exception, that he was the kindest man that you could ever possibly know. And this is what happens when you connect to God, it brings out the trueness in you, which is kind man. So and that's what we see in you, Lori, and we're very excited to hear everything, and we're very supportive, and that's the beauty about coming here. I just want to make this clear to everyone again. It's for some people, but not for everyone, because there's nothing here. There's nothing here. There are no restaurants. There's no shopping mall. There's nothing. You're coming here to get rid of everything so that you can take your juicing seriously. So you can take loving your animals seriously. So that you can take loving yourself seriously. So that you can take honoring God and knowing God in all moments seriously. That's why you would want to come here. This is all about doing the work. It's perfect for doing the work. But if you rile against doing the work, and if you want to stay connected to that left brain carnal world, this is not for you. This isn't for you, and it probably never will be for you. This is about stillness, it's about silence, and it's about service. And the rewards are incredible. Justin knows quite a bit about where we live and the miracles that are all surrounding us here. But it is within the silence. It's within the silence of where we are that is the real gift exists. And the weather is perfect. When they're not manipulating with machines, the weather is literally perfect here. It's sunny every single day, other than when they're manipulating the weather. And it's,
except when it's cloudy.
yeah, which during the daytime usually never happens. So it's incredible. So every day is a sunshiny, bright day.
Nothingness that's there is so appealing to me. There's no distractions. I don't need any distractions. No, nobody does, but I do not. Time spent in silence is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So yeah, very appealing, very appealing. Plus all the fruit trees.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
All right, sister. Well, thank you so much for being on today. Really
Thank,
appreciate you coming by.
thank you, all of you. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Love you too, Lori. Thank you for sharing. We just thank you.
I watch everything, so I'm always there watching.
Great. We'll see you there.
Sounds good. Love you.
Bye. All right, Kathleen.
Just
You're up. Truly, it's so incredible.
Kathleen Eddy. Good.
She's connecting.
And eddies are known as backwater, and it's great because the eddies are saying, I'm not so sure. I want to be on this path that is broad and spacious, that is leading very fast somewhere. I'm not so sure that I want to do this. So these little eddies occur in the rivers, and what they're looking for is to get to the sides and stop and think a while
Smell the
before
roses.
smell the roses before they get shoved down the middle of the road in the mainstream, and down you go the mainstream, and then suddenly you've got 14 kids, 3 cars, 10 mortgages, and cancer. So
Wow. Yeah. Kathleen might be having trouble connecting. Maybe she stepped away for a second. So we will while she figures that out, we'll go to the next one. So Derek, go ahead and let you in.
Derek. Hi, Derek.
Hey, brother.
We see you. Can't hear you.
See you, but can't hear you. Yeah, I'm not sure if are you muted?
I think I'm on.
Yeah.
There you go. Yay.
All right.
Derek.
Aloha, Justin. Aloha,
Hey,
Charlie, Colleen.
hey,
Thank you
brother.
so much for having me.
aloha.
Yeah.
Do you know the meaning of aloha, Charlie?
The authentic, true, no.
So it is such an incredible, beautiful word. It means in the presence of the breath of life, in the
Wow.
presence of God.
Wow.
That's what it spells.
That's my new favorite word.
When you look at the etymology of each letter, so in the one story in decoding the hieroglyphics of the English language, Al, God's light, O, which is the Ouroboros, so where are you going to put it? Lower, high, and then H, breath of God, HA, which is the breath of the Father. So that's exactly what it spells as well.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah. So I wanted to share with you today a little bit about the process that your physical body has to go through in order to become one with God. It's a very specific process, and it only happens one way. And when you strip man down to its purest essence in the stillness and the silence, you're left with one thing, and that's the vibrational tones of your heartbeat, your heart tones. So something very interesting happens when you're able to reach a profound state of relaxation in your body during meditation. This is why we go into the stillness and the silence, is because when you reach that profound relaxation, your heart tones actually increase in volume they say by 3 times. They increase in volume by 3 times, but it can get much louder than that. Everything I'm going to describe, I have personal experience with. And when this happened to me, my wife could hear my heartbeat from across the room, and it was freaking her out. But so, anyways, back to the heart. When you're in the stillness and silence, and the only thing that you're left with is the sound of your beating heart, that sound begins to resonate throughout your body. And as that sound travels up into your brain, the sound vibrations are received by the fluid in the third and left ventricle of the brainstem. And that sound is translated into the brain. So if you don't have gas in your tank, you won't hear your heart beating when the sound increases in the silence. But when your brain does receive that signal from the heart, then it synchronizes your brain and your heart, so they become one. So you have one and one become one. Okay. When your brain synchronizes with your heart puts out an electrical field that's 100 times more powerful than your brain, and it puts out a magnetic field that's 5,000 times more powerful than your brain. So when the brain synchronizes with the heart, it jumps up in energy. It's like a quantum leap in energy, and it actually creates an electromagnetic pulse within your brain that goes off, allowing you to access this super high state of energy that's guided by your heart. So when that pulse goes off, then that's when you're connected to God. The only way that you can get here is, so if we start in the brain, most people are trapped in the left side of the brain, right? They're trapped in the brain. They're trapped up here, and our way out, as we're finding our way out, we learn to move to the right side of the brain. We learn to light up the right side, the right hemisphere of our brain, and this turns us on energetically. We're bright and shiny and beautiful, and it's amazing, and you're open to God. But you're not one with God yet, because as long as you have this duality, this left-right duality, you can't be one. You're always at war. And that's what we see in our society right now, where like the right is starting to wake up. So the right is starting to brighten, because everything that happens in here is happening outside as well. So the right in our society is starting to wake up. The left is completely asleep. And that's how we want it, because you just want to ignore the left for now, focus on the bright part, focus on the right. But it's not a solution. It's not the end solution, because in order to get out of this war of left versus right, we have to actually bring the left back in. And so when we raise the vibration of the right hemisphere of our brain, then we need, the next step is to raise the vibration of the left hemisphere of our brain to match that. So the two hemispheres of your brain are working as one now. And the energy is going like this, as a figure 8 through your brain. Your brain is now one. So you have one and one becomes one. And then once your brain is synchronized, you leave and you move consciously, move your awareness into your heart. And when you move your awareness into your heart, you can take no thought, because you can perceive the thoughts that are coming into your brain, but you're just watching it from your heart, and you're not taking any active part in that. Then when you move into your heart, it's like when you're just in the right side of your brain, you're like a lamp. Okay, you're shining bright, you're shining that energy. When you synchronize your brain, your lamp turns into a laser beam, and that laser beam is guided by the power of your heart. It's powered by your heart. So the straight line path is the path from your heart to your third eye. This is the mother in your heart. The mother is in your heart. You have to go into your heart to get to the Father. Okay, so the straight line path, it's all internal. It's all within you, but you have to go into your heart first in order to activate with uncovering your true, authentic, original heart tones given to you by the mother. And we know that the heart is our connection with God, because God is in the air, and the heart distributes oxygenated blood to the entire body. So the heart connects our body with God wherever we need it. So we have to go into the heart, uncover our original vibration in the heart. That will release the power of the true power of the brain. And then that's how we get to the Father. And it's all about synchronizing. Everything has to synchronize. So in our society, that's where the Q team is moving with Donald Trump and everyone. Love Donald Trump, but so we can't just brighten up the right. We got to get the left synchronized in with us on the same page. So we have to enlighten the media, just like you guys are doing right now. What we're doing is we're using this left brain technology to enlighten the right side. And so we're doing that process of building the connections, but we just have to synchronize. And so when you're one with God, you're either one or you're zero. Okay. If you're not one with God, then you're zero. Q is the straight line path, breaking that endless cycle of war, endless cycle of pain, of death. Q is the way out, that the straight line path out of the endless cycle to get you to that place of oneness. And that place of oneness is your vibration of your heart.
Yeah, thank you for all of that, Derek. That's wonderful, fantastic knowledge, Gnosis. So, and thank you very much for sharing it. The thing, there's work that needs to be done, because what they've done, because what Derek is telling you or relating to is in a perfect world. In a perfect world, how we're meant to be is the way that the way that Derek has explained it. But in the last 100 years, especially the last 100 years, 110 years since Einstein and this mainstream media, they've actually sent us further back. And so when Derek talks about, so the mother is in the heart, well, that's where she's supposed to be. That's her home, because the heart is the middle way. It's 4 of 7 of the chakras. It's the green plane, which is the middle earth of this creation, of this flat plane. But she's currently in the root or Muladhara chakra, the red light district. And so you see the allegories abound everywhere, right? So this is the red light district, and they've turned the Sacred Mother by force into a whore, attempting to whore her way out of Amsterdam, and to find her way back to the land via rainbow up and to the right. So we've got work to do, because we've been set backwards for so long. So the very first thing we have to do is, that's why you have the word together, because we only do this together. And that, if you break it apart, together is to get her, right? Do it. It literally is to get her. We have to do this together. So Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece, the little lamb's fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, that lamb was sure to go. Mother and child. And Paul Simon wrote about the mother and child reunion. This is all about the mother and child reunion. So the number one thing that we must do right now, and that's why Justin takes this so seriously, Colleen and I take this so seriously, those that have gravitated to us take this all so seriously, is you must start with your diet. And the diet is to get out of this dying of T, of the physical, and to live. And you live through life. And life is all those green plants that are transmutating the light of the sun into the green plane. Well, only the mother can do that. That's, photosynthesis is the mother. That's what she does, because she is the middle way. She is the green plane of the Middle Earth. So the only way is to get her together. So we have to get ourselves together, and that starts with the food. And then the green plants is ingesting the mother, which is life, and then you begin to rise. So like I said, when Justin and I talked about this before, when you come to finally understand the Bible, very important book, very important book, just as are all the other ancient scriptures. They're all talking about the same story, just a little different cultures, different names, different points of emphasis. It's the same story. And so it all starts with getting her, and that starts with the food, and it's that introduction. So when you get rid of death and you accept only life, then you begin to rise, because God is the God of the living, not of the dead. And you begin to rise immediately to the Father, because you are the child of God. So you naturally are to rise. Everything about this experience, dropping down out of singularity into the duality, into the pit of hell, is to rise. What do you have to do to turn the word rise to raise? You add the A. So to be able to rise and actually have done it, to raise yourself, is to literally put God within you. And the only way you can do that is to take the leap of faith. That's why, again, in the Batman movie, you see Bruce Wayne, John F. Kennedy Jr. taking this leap of faith. It's the only way. And you can't get to that point soon enough, because you're not going to fail. You're not going to fail. God won't let you fail. If you are on the path that is straight and narrow, that leads to the straight gate, that leads to this oneness, do you think that anything is going to let you fail? The roots clinging to the wall, the rocks stuck to the face of the cliff, they're all on your side. The wind, the breath of God, everything is on your side. Whatever you need to get you that extra 16th of an inch further to be able to make the other side is precisely what will be presented to you in that moment, because
But fear crops up from the left brain.
that's right.
And that's the one thing that can stop you.
And that it is the only thing. You are your own worst enemy. You sleep with the enemy every single night, and only you stop you. So when
But like Derek says, it's about balancing the two.
right, because somebody has to lead the way. Because if nobody starts to do this process and to lead the way, then the left brain will never change. It will continue to dominate. There was an incredible Star Trek episode we watched, Star Trek The Next Generation, we watched last night. And it's the episode where their memories were wiped. And they couldn't remember who they were. And so they were struggling with what they were on, what they were there for. And it was so funny because Worf, who is a Klingon, which is the left brain, the ego, which clings to your your neurotransmitters and to your trying to usurp everything. It's a Klingon. That's why the Klingons are the way they are. They're pure left brain. And Lieutenant Worf is attempting to cast his net to the right, so he's unique for a Klingon. But the first thing that
Because he's half human.
that's right, because he's half human and half mankind. And so what happens, the first thing that occurs is that Worf attempts to take control of the vessel. And then the first thing Worf wants to do is get the weapon systems back online. And then the first thing that he discovers is he has 150 photon torpedoes, and that the power of the phaser banks are at this level of. So he does everything that is war, and he takes charge. And then the first thing he says is we have to protect ourselves. And if anybody comes near us, we have to blast them out of the sky, because we have to send a message to. That's what the left brain does. And if you let that continue to lead, you'll never get her. You'll never raise her, and she will remain a hooker in the red light district of Amsterdam when she's meant to be the white pure unicorn on top of the rainbow up and to the right. And you've got her whoring in Amsterdam. What are you doing? Somebody has to lead the way. Starts with the food. It then increases through the breathing, the breath. And it's through these things, as Derek is helping us to see and to explain, is that when you do these things, you're literally becoming of the frequency of the mother, and you literally are. And then you're raising her frequency, and then she raises your frequency, because you're the lamb and she's the Mother Mary, and you will replicate her. And all she wants to do is rise. She wants to rise, because you have two hearts in you. You have the heart chakra, and then you have the heart of your, and remember, the etymology of the word heart is centrality. What is the innermost, centermost space or place within you? The third ventricle of your brain. The third ventricle of the brain is the heart above. The heart chakra, not the valve in your chest, the heart chakra of your subtle body system is the heart within the physical realm. Throat chakra below, physicality, duality. Above the blood-brain barrier is the higher realm of heaven. 6 and 7 chakras, 6 and 7 chakras, the world that is above. So this is heaven upon earth, and then this is the hell upon earth that we have to master. And then that's precisely what Derek is teaching everyone in this moment, is that it's these two, 1 and 1 equal 1. You have to unify two worlds into one. God is in his mercy seat here, just behind the third ventricle of the brain. You are supposed to be the light of the world. And when you become the light of the world, then the ego comes along for the ride. But you must lead the way. You must do the work. You must take charge by doing the work. And when you do the work is what? It's life, it's purification, and then that is stripping away the veneer, stripping away the materialism, stripping away the weight in your uncles in Egypt. And then you rise, Razel, you rise to Israel, or Razel, you raise the light within you, and then you lead the way. So that's really beautiful, Derek. And again, this is why we must take this seriously, and we must do the work, because doing the work first gets the mother out of the root Muladhara chakra and brings her back to where she's supposed to be, as Derek taught, and that is in the middle way. And that's all that the Buddha talked about. That's it. Get under a banyan tree, sit, relax, straighten the spine, allow everything to rise under the banyan tree, and go back to 4 of 7. Because when she is here and he is here, then you go home here. And you are the optic thalamus. You are the 13th cranial nerve. You are the light of the world. And we're living as just these pathetic people who eat Pop-Tarts and watch The Simpsons. And
Literally zombies.
You built the pyramids. You built the pyramids, and you built it from within out.
And
from
we're going to
within
do greater
out.
things than that.
And we will do greater things than that. So, and especially when we align ourselves to one another as one, as we connect this path and we create. So that's what Derek is talking about, is 1 + 1 = 1. And you're the one when you align the one in the one.
Can I share something really quick about how the ego manifests and affects your heart? So as you hold on to ego, it manifests as echoes within your body, and it creates interference patterns for what the true expression of your heart is supposed to be pumping through your body. And those interference patterns create echoes that reflect it back, and it has a sound dampening effect on the tone of your heartbeat. So that's why you have to be perfectly still and without your ego in order to hear your heart, because the ego is actually what's physically dampening the sound of your heartbeat. It's the pulse that when the heart sends the blood down, it creates this pulse that bounces, that goes down to your lower abdomen and then bounces back up, and that pulse creates the interference pattern in your heart that makes it so you can't hear it. And I would challenge you to just try to move your awareness out of your head and into your heart, and then listen to some of the beautiful songs that Charlie recommends, but don't listen with your ears, listen with your heart. And you will see that, you know, when he's talking about smoking with the boys upstairs, and then he heard his heartbeat, and then he went to check it out, and he was like, I am never going back to that world of duality. You know, driver, take me to where the music play. We're getting a divorce up here. I'm staying down here where the music's at. And the song Asia, the secret about that song is that it's a masterpiece, and every masterpiece is it's the actual heart tones encoded into a piece of music. And so Asia is the heart singing. The heart is singing. So the heart is saying, Asia, when your dime dancing is through, when you come to rest, when you stop looking on the outside and you come to rest, I run to you. So I run from the heart to you. And every single song, it's all encoded. It's all about going into your heart.
Yeah, and so just for everyone, Derek was making references to Steely Dan and the Steely Dan song "My Old School" and "Haitian Divorce," and so every single Donald and Walter song was giving you this choice. You can see this as some kind of grubby loser of the mythical realm of loserdom on earth, and people that are overwhelmed by drugs, sex, and violence. You can look at these songs this way if you choose to. There's the duality to those songs, and it's the highest high. So they're showing you the lowest low or the highest high, and that's the significance of their song, which is the Caves of Altamira. Alta is high, Mira is to see, or it's view. So it's high view. So the caves.
Sorry.
The caves of high view. This is your tomb. And this is the high view. So we wrote it on the wall. Before the fall, we wrote it on the wall. Before there was even any Hollywood, we heard the call and we wrote it on the wall. So you and me, we understood. And then the last verse of the song is that what Donald Walter is saying is that they remembered that they were the ones that wrote it on the wall. Memory rush over me. Now I step into the sun. So they realized they were the ones that did this so that they would remember to write these songs, because we keep forgetting. If you exit this world in fear, you forget everything that you've done. If they get you, if you let them win, if they for 60 or 70 years wear you down to the point that you become Ebenezer Scrooge, you lose everything. Everything that you did in your 30s and 40s that was great and enlightened and beautiful, if you die in despair, they've got you, and you start all over again and you forget it all. So this is why you need to do the work and write it on the wall so that you will never forget it. And then we realize we're the ones that wrote it on the wall. So it's not these ancient cavemen eat animal. No, there was never that at all. It's an allegory, and because they knew that we were going to fall and fall so far, so they wrote it simply. And thank goodness they did, because we've allowed ourselves, all of us, to become morons from one time
Isn't it
or
exciting
another.
to listen to these songs and to understand now what they're talking about, and you just have so much admiration for these people, and just that you start to have this alignment, and you're just like, I'm now aligning with your messages, and it's just like, wow, and we are becoming that one, right? And it's, you imagine being in a room filled with people who are turned on, literally,
Switched on.
right? Like, just wow.
Can I share just really quick what happened to me? Actually, this will be perfect for your to lead into your talk next week, because when this happened to me, that when the EMP went off in my mind, it was actually, I had just for the first time consciously attempted to conceive a baby with my wife. And I had been practicing semen retention, so I hadn't spilled my seed for months up until this point. But then I did, at this point, because we were, like, we had made the decision, like, tonight's the night we're going to make a baby. And so, that was a really big decision for me, since I was holding it in, and so when it was finished, I was laying on the bed, and then I was just overcome with the realization that I was going to be a dad, and then I just felt so much love rush over me, and my heart just started pounding. And that's when my wife could hear my heart beating, like, from across the room. She could hear it, and she's like, "What is going on?" And she was scared, and I was like, I was getting sucked into my heart. I was like trying to explain, it's the best feeling it's the best feeling in my life. Like, I'm inside my heart. All I can experience is just that pounding, and I'm just in my heart, and there's nothing else. And my body actually starts convulsing. So my wife kind of jumps on top of me to hold me down. And then I kind of come back and I go back up into my head. And then there's the blast. And to me, it felt like a laser beam got shot into my eyes, with the full sound that you would expect, like, pew, that you would expect. Now that I realize it actually came out of my eyes, but we experienced it coming in. And then I heard the voice of God, and God said, now you know what it's like to see with love. And then I heard myself respond. I didn't consciously respond. I heard my voice respond. And I said, I will make you proud of the son I raise. And it's been very humbling, because it is so interesting. In that moment, I thought I was talking about the physical son that I had just created. But in actuality, we didn't end up conceiving a baby on that night. And I ended up having a daughter. And so then I realized what I was saying. It took me a year to fully integrate what happened. But what I was saying is, I'll make you proud of the son that I raised within myself. And I thank you for that, Charlie, because I was watching one of your videos, and then that's when it clicked. And it's that understanding. Then from that point, it's like everything is just trying to get back into that space where I'm just my heartbeat, and that's all there is. And yeah.
We do our best to try to make all of this as simple as possible, and Justin mentions from time to time that I repeat these key points again and again and again. it's a mercy, because if I was to go deeper and further than what I'm sharing currently, I think it might scare some people. And then when you go past a certain point, the growth is astonishing, and it's hard to convey. It's hard to convey all of that to those that are still on the ground, still rooted to their ankles and wanting to rise. But it's hard to convey what it's like to be free of those bonds and to be flying everywhere you go instead of walking everywhere you go. So just know that as we continue and progress, Colleen, I promised you from the beginning, we won't go anywhere. We realize that we don't want to become violet light that then becomes vile and violent. We have to return. We want to come back to the middle plane, the middle way. We want to come back to the mother and celebrate the mother for the rest of our existence, because that's the Bodhisattva. And the Bodhisattva is grateful for the miracle of the personal ascension, and then stays to help all others to be able to, if they choose, to be able to exercise their free will to join and to become part of this group. And then we are legion. We are ligari. Legion is legari, which is union. And this is all about unity consciousness. It's all about oneness. It's all about connecting father and mother into something more. And then Derek was mentioning it earlier. All these allegories about left brain, right brain, left brain. It's left brain is us, right brain is God. It's all an allegory. We have to get out of the dime brain. When all my dime dancing is through, I run to you. Asia, I run to you. The sixth chakra, Ajna. The heart and the heart. The heart and the heart. Two hearts are one heart. Two worlds is one. It's all about unity consciousness. And
And brilliant part about the Q as well.
Yeah, exactly, which is what we've taught from the beginning, which is the O is the Ouroboros, and around you go. That's no answer. That's no answer. It's eternal, but it's no answer. This living, growing, getting sick, dying, reborn, What you want is the one path, the eternal way, and that is to transmutate out of the physical realm, like Derek said. As long as you have duality,
Getting into both worlds.
you're not going to ascend. As long as you maintain this duality, you won't, because you can't. The moment that you create unity, which is the silver cord, by the way, the silver cord that runs from the heart to the third ventricle, the silver cord. The moment that you unify them, then this is when you rise. You will raise yourself. And so the true name for this sacred sex is called Unity Consciousness Sex. And when you do this and you're with your partner and eyes are open and you're looking into each other's eyes, it strips you bare of any layers or any egoic thoughts or any foolish self boisterings that you do to help raise yourself up or your appearance to look. All of that strips away, and it's just you with somebody else who, with their free will, loves you with all of their might. And that's the greatest gift ever, because once you realize that we truly do possess free will, another brilliant child of God that wants to spend the rest of their existence with you, that is the greatest gift ever. And you would never betray that. You would never betray that. You will never cheat on that person. You will never stray from that person, because you realize it is the gift of gifts. It's the holiest of holies. And this is that union from two into one. And there's no cheating involved.
Well, thank you so much. Such an honor to be able to talk with you and discuss these things. And it's just incredible what you guys are doing with your show and everything. And I'm so grateful and excited and happy to be along for the ride and to be able to watch and participate.
Yeah, it sounds like we have to have a show with you.
That'll be one.
I'm just excited to see when you apply this, how it just radiates through you, because you're already doing it. But when you consciously really work on going in there, then it'll just start to radiate out, and it's going to be really fun to watch. So
there's 3 men that are right here that you see on your screen, and I think I can speak for Derek and Justin, but I'll say it from I will not ejaculate my seed. I will not spill my seed. This is a gift. It's my essence. It's my life force. It is within, and I create with the seed within me. And I don't. So this process is miraculous, and Santos says the same thing. When you follow this process, you won't go back, because we're not kidding you with the gifts that you'll start feeling right away when you practice this process. Do not spill your seed. So Justin and Derek, if you both just want to speak to that for a sec, that would be great.
Yeah, well, I mean, I made that commitment as soon as we started talking about it, way back when I first discovered Santos and you, Charlie, and I mean, it makes perfect sense. Why would we? Because you get that immediate feeling after spilling your seed, where you feel like defeated and deflated, and both of those D words, and so you get that confirmation of the wrong path, and so of course this makes sense that this would be the right path, that we can use this beautiful energy in a much more regenerative fashion. So yeah, I'm 100% in. I've been abstaining. I like Charlie's recommendation of waiting till I'm 333. Before entertaining the idea, but it's got to be something that's taken to heart and taken very seriously, because if we remove our life essence, then we are just advocating to continue going around the wheel and continuing to go through this death cycle, but when we retain that life, we can choose otherwise. Yeah, that's what I got to share on that. You got anything else, Derek?
On that note, I would just say that was by far the hardest for me. Is the hardest piece of the puzzle for sure. And once you do overcome the blockages or whatever's stopping you from that, like Charlie and Justin said, you feel it immediately, and and then like when you feel it, then so it's like you have to feel it, and then and then you just keep going on that path, and I'm right there with you guys, and just very excited to see where it all goes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. And the other thing that's really cool that you'll discover over time, that this is a journey. It's a art form, and it takes a lot of practice, which is really cool, right? It's like, that's it. To master this, you have to practice sex a lot. So it's really cool. But it's a light show. What sex ultimately is a light show, because what you're doing is you're turning your inner light on, and then as you rise, your chakras are all different colors. So as you rise, you just have the most amazing light show. And then it's really, this process is so mystical and magical. It's incredible, because you get lost in everything that's happening to you. You get lost. Like a child, I was sharing with the guy. Oh my God, it's all purple. It's all it's like it's pinkish. It's violet light. So it's now violet light. I can't believe. And then it's like, remember, we're still here. We're now. So you're just like a child through this process, because it's brand new. There's no books written about this. Nobody to help you along the way.
And we can't say if everybody feels the same thing.
For sure.
It's just your journey and your experience. So. But
it's incredible, because it's a light show and then it's a sound show, and then and then you realize that it's rock and roll, and that, like Colleen said earlier, the ultimate goal of the sacred sex is, once again, rolling the rock. And then this is that straight way that Derek was talking about, and everything that Derek was talking about this sort of mechanical path about the way the heart works and whatnot. It's all also relates here because when you activate the pineal gland, the very first thing that the pineal gland does is it creates an electrical charge, a spark, and that goes through this tiny nerve ganglion, which is called the stria pinealis. And the stria pinealis is this tiny, tiny nerve ganglion that runs in a straight line, from the pineal to the fornix. And the fornix is the rock in front of the tomb. And it's connected to the roof, the velum interpositum, the roof of your third ventricle of the brain, and it's connected to it. And so when you activate your pineal gland, it's a knee-jerk reaction. This is where the expression comes from. It's a knee-jerk reaction, and it does this. It opens. Every time you illuminate your pineal gland, the rock rolls. This is what rock and roll was meant to be. It's to teach you to music these frequencies that change your life. And that's literally what it does. It rolls the rock, and then the last chamber of the third ventricle opens, and that's called the chamber of the bridegroom. Bride and groom, mother and father, child enters as the best man, the witness to the alchemical marriage, and then we are one at home with this family. And it's just so beautiful, as is everything of God's creation. So Derek, you have been an absolutely miraculous guest, and Justin, Colleen, and I thank you so much for being here, and so much for being you and doing everything that you've done. Because when the Dereks of the world exist and do the things that they're doing, same with Justin, there is a benefit across this earth, because their righteousness and their light and the frequency that they are creating within them, it is a magnetic pulse, and it pulsates outwards in a 360-degree radial pattern, and no woman, man, or child is left behind. And so that little blip that you feel in the middle of the day, that suddenly I shouldn't despair and suddenly I just feel a little bit better, that could literally be because Derek is doing the work, because Colleen is doing the work, because Justin is doing the work. And these are the gifts that we give to others. You want to help others, help yourself. Get out of hell. Get rid of the dime dancing, the war with K. Work is war with K. Stop working for the man. You'll never get out of duality as long as there's money and work. Get out of that trap. Get out of that trap. What we offer here is a reality where with this free land, you just grow everything that you require through the mother, and then you just share with everyone in this abundance of wealth that comes through the father and the mother. That's all you need to do. Stop this working, stop this accumulation of money, stop this insanity, because it will keep you in the left brain, and that is divided. And as long as you're divided, you will not rise. You can't. What Derek said to you is absolutely the truth. If you're still stuck, if you still exist in duality, you will not rise. It's that simple. It's unity. It's unity. It's oneness. It's alignment. And that's frequencies. And that's what Tesla said. Everything is energy. So therefore, everything is frequencies, vibrations, and pulses.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thanks, brother. Thanks for being here. We love you. Love you lots.
Love you too.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Sure was. Thank you, Derek.
Kathleen,
Yeah, Kathleen, can you, I see you got connected to audio. Can you hear us okay? Can't see you or hear you. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
yes. Beautiful.
How do I have you see me?
There should be a little camera icon next to that mute button that you can push as well.
It's getting kind of bright out here. Let me see if I can go over here and see that piece. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we
There
are.
you go. Perfect. Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Good to meet you all
Yeah, you too.
and meet little Lily here. also.
Aw.
Beautiful Lily. Hello, beautiful Lily. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's over 10 and she eats fruit and she's just awesome dog. Thank you. This little bit is I have been living on wheels. I live in a van now, turtle top van, so I can stand up in it. I've been on wheels since 1995.
Amazing.
I'm so fortunate. I've had so many miracles.
That's
And I have just the best life. I live 2 blocks from the beach on private property. And I'm able to park here and even hook up electricity if I need to. Have a hot shower upstairs, and it's all free just to be able to make sure that this building that I'm at is unlocked in the morning and locked at night. It's amazing. And I live on $400 a month from Social Security, and I couldn't be happier. I am so fortunate. We all have challenges and things, but I understand that everything around me is not, it's not my fault, per se. It's not mine, per se, to soak it in and worry about that. But I find myself, because my volunteering almost to help people that they're drawn to me to train their dog. I mean, train them, to help them with some suggestions. And that's been very joyful for me.
wow.
I don't give out a card and say, oh, I'm a dog trainer. I don't want to do that. I just do that when my dog likes to go very fast when she walks. So I have to ride a bike next to her in order to keep up with her. I'll be jogging the whole time.
Wow.
And over 10 now, she's done it since she's 4 months old. And my question though is about to understand about kinesiology or muscle testing. That's something that I'm very interested in. And what would be your thoughts on that?
Yeah, kinesiology is a very important study, and it's all about this this potentialness and the latency of energy within the body. And as with anything, kinesiology has been hijacked by the cabal, and what they now train in kinesiology is essentially upside down or different from what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to do. So it's just all about achieving this latency within ourselves, that we are an unencumbered circuit, so that the energy, the electrical flow of energy within us is free to be able to flow from synapse to synapse at instantaneous transference, right? Because that's there's no such thing as the speed of light. So it is just this getting ourselves in a still and stationary, relaxed state, where then we can loose all the restrictions around us, and then we just allow this reality of latency to exist within us, and that's what it's supposed to be. And there are so many things that hinder this process now, because of course all of our 12 major electrical grid lines that run through us are actually running through the molars in your teeth. And so, coincidence, everybody just suddenly had to have huge amounts of cavities in their molars, and then their teeth are filled with all of this mercury in their mouth. And then they only last so long, and then eventually they have to grind your molars down to these tiny little nubs, and then place these fake teeth on top. That's far better.
Gee, I wonder what that does to your electrical system.
And what is that doing to these circuits that are within? Is blocking. So therefore, potency, latency is once again restricted. And then it makes you feel a certain way. It makes you feel restricted and less than, and then it's harder to do the work. And then you're not filled with hope within you. You're filled more so with despair. and then you're making the wrong choices in the foods you eat, and then and then you become a shallow breather, and everything just goes to hell. And that's how they operate. Everything that they do is designed to take away latency. Everything that they do is designed to take away what you are, which is a child of God with free will to be anything that you wish or want to be in any single moment. And what they do, what they put in its place, is just bad news, bad high prices and high interest and problems and problems and problems. But all of it is an illusion that we have to fall into, we have to believe in. And when we believe it and we fall into the illusion, then we despair. And that's why Professor Tolkien talked about this as the only sin that truly exists is despair. Because once you've despaired, you no longer trust in God at all. There is no God in you when you're despairing because you've given up. And why would you give up when God is the God of the living and you are his living creation? And all you have to do is just make this alignment between yourself and the Father. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. And also I just wanted to say, and I know Colleen will want to talk about this as well. We think what you're doing is just fabulous. Is such an answer. And like you said, from time to time, there still are challenges, still a problem. Yeah, because you're choosing to live 2 blocks from a public beach. You're living within a city. You're living in the belly of the beast, and so that takes a lot of courage for you to do. And so it is filled with challenges if you choose to stay with the belly of the beast.
Right, which I've surfed for 50 years. It's taken me out of the corporate world back when I was in nursing school. And I said, after waiting to get into the school for 2.5 years and taking the biologies, I said, you couldn't pay me $1 million to do this unethical gig here. And this was in the 80s. And so, like I say, it's been interesting to be living here in the belly of the beast in Solana Beach in California. And I can actually just leave anytime here, just fill up the gas and go to out in the middle of nowhere, in a sense, like Lori would like to. There's so much BLM land and there's dispersed camping and there's a lot that you could just go be by yourself in the middle of nowhere. And there's no fear for that. God takes care of the situation. I say that the piano is on the 4th story up there hovering, ready to fall out the window, and it falls behind you and you never knew it fell because you don't want it to fall in front of you or on you. And so it's all within you, the attitude of your own fears. It's just let go of that. I feel that there's so much fear growing up as we have, like you say, parents, that may have been shown us all these things that we would decided never to behave like that, such as in great fear, constantly wanting to say that success is having a whole pile of money and some status. And because my parents end up being like that, I became the opposite and fearless. And surfing helps so much because it's that fear and excitement to just go for it in a large wave and just go. And I can just totally let go of surfing. I've proven that to myself now.
Washed with that mother every time the wave comes over you. It's just wow. That's beautiful.
Or on a shortboard, I just duck diving under this wave is just the most glorious feeling. It's just wonderful. But there's so many other water things. For being a Cancer myself, July 18th, there's 5 planets in water sign, and we're more than the stars. Obviously, it's a nice roadmap, but a Libra is in my 4th house, so it's always balancing things. And I love people. I love to interact with people, listen to them. At the same time, I can be in within myself, as we know, the crab shell, and be with myself. It's just very comfortable, and blessed with a little puppy here. It's great. And I'm really appreciative of everything you, Colleen and Charlie, put up on your channel. Just phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very-
Thank
you.
you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Kathleen, and thank you for sharing your story. Wow. I love that you've done this since 1995. That's good for you.
And it's good for all of us. Again, it's good for all of us. Every time somebody does this, we're all benefiting in ways that we may not appreciate, but
You
but
make us
it's-
stronger.
You make us stronger. Yeah, you're free. Again, this being trapped to land that they actually own and you have to pay taxes on, and it's insanity. It's purely insanity. So what you're doing, what Justin has done, what so many others have done and are doing now is all about this desire for freedom. And we just applaud you. And you know, look at your miraculous pup. You know, from just a miracle.
Yeah.
It's all a miracle.
He came back, I guess.
Ah,
You regenerate.
you regenerated.
And yeah, you know, from
Yeah, really. Woo.
Solana Beach, California, Soul, Father, Son, Father, Anna, the flower of creation, which is the mother, Solana, Father, Mother Beach. And you're 2 hours away from San Luis Obispo. And then
That's where my family's from 7 generations are from.
wow. And I'm so connected to San Luis Obispo. Every time I go there, there's a frequency that is at the core of my frequency is in San Luis Obispo. And so the dates and the figs, and it's pure magic. It is pure magic. As Justin said earlier, one of the greatest gifts that all of you can start doing for yourselves, get out of your freaking mortgages and your homes, redo an SUV, redo a van, redo whatever, and just go see this country that you were called to be in. I've been over so many parts of America, and it never ceases to absolutely amaze me. It is just gorgeous. And if I go to other places, other countries, that's what I see is like Mexico is just so beautiful. The earth is the mother, and she's perfect, and she's perfectly beautiful. And everywhere you go, you're reborn again. So get off of this you know, false life that you've been leading, and get yourself free. Get yourself free, and then learn to surf, because surf is searching for God, and that it truly is. Because all the great surfers, whether they realize it or not, some don't, but most do, that you get to a point where you have to trust in someone or something that what you're doing isn't crazy and that you're going to make it. And then what are they looking for? Perfect wave frequencies. And you're looking for the God frequency. You're looking for the 7th wave. You're looking for the perfect wave. And then you ride, and you're looking for the eye of the needle, the needle in a haystack, and you go right through the eye, right through the pipeline, the eye of the wave, and to God you go. So surfing is absolutely all about seeking for God.
And that stillness and silence inside of that, isn't it? It's wow, beautiful.
And I live, the address though where I live is 444.
Wow.
Whoa.
Father Child, Father
Lately, I've only been seeing 222s lately. And
Mother, and we're
We're
about to enter into 2022, which is 222. And that is the baptism of water, which is the cleansing, and that is the truth. So
whether there's a tsunami here that comes and takes me out, I don't care. I'm fine. But I do definitely want to come visit you in Catalan for sure.
You.
Mexico.
Thank
And it's just beautiful to like a volunteer. It's just wonderful to be feeling that way as a volunteer, where you think nothing of yourself. And that's how I feel. I don't really need to I'm paid from the joy of the people feeling better, or understanding, even just about understanding their dogs, the mind of the dog. It's really a joy that I've been given that avenue to help out, because my daughter, who's in Colorado Springs in the forest, she's been a service dog trainer for 24 years now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Learned a lot from
God.
her. It's
Learn
very helpful.
dogs. That's
But
awesome.
I've bought into anything about this, situation that we're in. And the other day, I just went into to a store where outside they said we request everyone to wear,
Their muzzles.
like everyone had them on but me, and they didn't treat me any different or saying, I just, no way I'm gonna wear those things. It was great. They didn't act any different towards me. Nobody gave me a pretty look, but they were all wearing that, and I just don't, understand why they can't be sovereign and independent and free.
It's coming.
And it's all about sovereignty. It's all about sovereignty. Jesus Christ in the Bible, that's what he taught in every single moment, was to be sovereign. Then you are a man. Until such time, you're a shade, and that's a human. And so you need to be a sovereign being. S over is sovereign. So the reign of the sovereign man, and that's what has to come. And that only comes through raising the mother within you. So that, like I said to Derek, and we say it every week, the first thing we have to do is run with open arms to this Mother Earth, who is powerfully real, and you just embrace her for all that you're worth. You embrace her, and she will raise you. She does the rest of the process. All you have to do with the true mother and father is love them. That's it. If you just are all in with their love, they'll do the rest. And then they give you all the glory, because the whole point of this is for you to become the light of the world. They're fine being the pineal and the pituitary glands. They don't need the fame and the fortune. It's all about the child. And all we had to do was commit to the father and the mother. And that is it. It's so simple and it's so beautiful. And thank you
I feel
for giving an example.
the gift of juicing. I'm listening to all the yes, and to be able to juice. I have a manual one. It takes longer, but it's like a ceremony. It's wonderful.
Exactly.
And being a water, we need, we think, oh, we need to drink lots of water, but drinking that juice, and I just drink a little distilled water. I'm so thankful for all that you have taught, Justin and Charlie, Colleen, concerning juicing and fruit. And the gorilla is strong and eats the fruit and leaves, and people just tell them, oh, they think, oh no, you got to have meat, you got to have this. I go, no, look at the gorilla, and they haven't thought of that before.
Oh, or they've thought of it, but just cognitive dissonance it.
There you go. And appreciate it. And it's so nice living in a van, not having to store any of that other stuff, just fruit.
Yeah.
And then the juice, it's just phenomenal. And I'm just still on that journey. I'll be detoxing for the next 7 years for sure. Thank you so much.
Life gets simpler. Oh, thank you so much, Kathleen, for sharing, and thank you for sharing your little puppy dog too.
Yeah.
Just love you guys for everything, and God bless you.
Oh,
Love you too.
thank you,
I
Kathleen.
love you so much.
Bless you, and he already has.
Yes. We'll talk.
Sure. Bye.
Bye. We've had so many people want to help with the dogs. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
Wow.
Justin, thank you so much for this. It's wonderful sharing this with you.
It is.
All of you beautiful people there on the beautiful chat. And thank you, Justin, for all of your work with getting rid of that little person, whoever it was.
Well, it's a bot that keeps changing its name to a
Tricky.
different one to spam the chat, but no match for my my quick draw.
Good job, McGrath. So much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sharing all of this.
Wow.
I can't wait. I honestly can't wait when we're prepared and we can have. Wouldn't it be great to have a place where people can park their vans and their trailers and have like a what's the name of that? Like a camping spot, I guess. And have a community kitchen, and
Yeah,
facilities, and people can come and they don't even need to, build anything. They just have their own place and
exactly. Just a parking spot. Yeah.
really lovely and just
Yeah.
get to meet all these beautiful, so wonderful, and just sharing the
Yeah,
journey.
and we will provide that for everyone. We'll be able to provide that those basics,
In the
the
future.
basic service for everyone to be able to do that. And then in the future, if you do want to make a permanent structure here, then that'll be up to you. Colleen and I don't need the extra work or the attention. We're not doing this. There's no money involved at all. So it's if you want to do that, then you need to do that and take it upon yourself, because I'm busy doing my journey. Colleen's busy doing, and then we interact with each other as often as we can because we're so in love with one another. That's all we want to do. And so to be able to pass on this gift for you to create the same kind of reality for yourself, that's what we're about, nothing else. And then if people want to get together, share around the campfire at night, then that's just beautiful. But we're not looking to create nothing but unending work for ourselves. This is not about coming here and everybody forming a circle around Charlie and Colleen. It's you becoming sovereign. It's you becoming the master of your own dome, master of the dome. And that is a sovereign being. He was master of the dome. And so this is what we're offering here, but it isn't about, just hanging on Justin's arm 24/7. Justin, can you tell me which website that was? Justin, can you? It's you doing the work. It's and creating this in the stillness and silence, creating the glory of God within you. So that's what it's all about.
Beautiful. Yeah. Another incredible show. Wow.
And we were going to play. It's very, very syncretic, isn't it, Justin? That
Hmm.
Derek brought up Steely Dan's Asia.
Right.
We were going to open the show today with the new video that I just recently did with on our YouTube channel, the Shire Animal Rescue Sanctuary, that I just did on Asia. It's as good as the video that I just did on Russia's Xanadu. And they're two of the best, most important songs ever. So those are absolutely so.
Check them out.
So,
Incredible
yeah.
lyrics.
I-
Just listen to those songs.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've done
Wow.
50 now of the 1,000 best, most important songs in rock and roll's history. I've done 50 videos, and they're all on YouTube, and tons more are coming. I'm almost finished
Once-
Boston's Foreplay Long Time, which is an incredible song, and the video for it is just, I'm having so much fun doing these things. So if you haven't been following all these 50 songs so far, watch them. And believe me, I put so many clues in there for you. Everything is meant for a reason. Everything is there. You can just watch them again and again and again, and just pick the layers of things that are within there. So, because that's what those songs are like. So it's so much fun. And remember, you can all need to do your homework for next Friday's show, which will be 2 hours exclusively just on this incredible process that Justin, Derek, Colleen, and I shared a little bit today about unity, consciousness, sex,
Great
sacred
documentary.
sex. And that's the documentary Sex, the Secret Gate, the Secret Gate to Eden. And that's up on our YouTube channel. It's also, Justin has it in the link tree, so it'll be in the show notes for this video as well. And like, you should, if you can download it, do so. You should have a copy of this. This is meant for everyone, and not everyone is ready for it yet, but watch it, and then it's going to be one heck of a show. And remember, to everyone who's kind of struggling right now with, but I'm alone right now, and I'm really happy, Charlie, to be alone. I'm not sure, Charlie, that I want to get back into a relationship. Right? It's beautiful. It's perfect because being alone allows you to have this really intense relationship with God. So it's perfect. It's right where you want to be right now. Just know that if you build it, He will come.
Or she.
Or she. Whatever you require, whatever is your need, then the room of requirement, remember in Harry Potter, the room of requirement, it's the third ventricle of your brain. And if you build it, if you're worthy, what did Dumbledore say? Let me amend what I said to you, Harry. Help at Hogwarts will always come to those who deserve it. Are you in a state where you're deserving of the miracle of God? If you're not, get yourself into alignment. And that's all you have to, because you are worthy, just have to get yourself into alignment. Do the work, receive the miracles, and the miracles never
And
stop.
believe it or not, the left brain doesn't think it's worthy enough.
Doesn't.
But when the right brain will be at a certain frequency, like Derek said, and then the other one will align itself to it, then you will know. You will become one, and you will know, and you become one with God. So it's going to be this incredible process when we all shift into that all K line.
That's
wow.
right. And that's right. And so the left brain comes along for the ride, but you have to get going. You have to create the ride. You have to create this miraculous journey to God. And then the left brain has no choice but to follow.
It's in
And
that
it will.
that little booster seat on the motorbike. The right brain is the motorbike, and the little sidecar is the left brain. But it's all
snagging. Yeah, right.
That's right. Well, we love you guys so much, and thank you for sharing all of your beautiful stories with us. And thank you, Justin.
You're welcome. And sorry, what'd you say?
Justin.
Yeah. Thank you. What's that?
3 more days and you're back home here?
Yeah, so we're traveling back on Sunday. So any well wishes for travel would be appreciated, and I'm sure it'll be great. And
Wonderful.
yeah, and then for next week, I wanted to mention, just to remind people that we are going to take emailed questions. So make sure you email over to understandingtruth@gmail.com, or get in touch with me some other way, but email is preferred. And if you could put in the subject line sex Q&A or sacred sex Q&A, something to that effect, just so I can see it and it's at the top, would be helpful. And then that'll be great for next week. Should be a fantastic show. So love you guys, and I will see you soon.
Have a wonderful weekend.
I will. It'll be a strong end.
Nice.
Watch your videos, do your homework.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.